Good afternoon, everyone, and probably needing no introduction, I have a really special guest today, Austen Tayshus, one of arguably Australia's most prominent comedian and certainly the most prominent comedian from the Jewish community. It's a privilege and pleasure to talk to you
My
today,
pleasure. And
Mr. Austen.
today, as you know, Erev Yom Kippur. We're actually talking Erev Yom Kippur right now.
And look, uh, in addition to your comedy, I want to talk about a couple of things regarding your identity and Jewish values. There's a few things that came to my attention many years ago. First I'll raise is I remember you being on the ABC once, rigorously defending Israel.
You mean on Q&A?
Yeah. How did that go?
Well, that was hard work. Firstly, being a stand-up comedian on a show like that is difficult. Because everybody's expecting you to be funny, and it's a show that's full of politicians and people in the media, and so it's difficult to create a funny atmosphere. So I was a bit apprehensive, but the story was it always seems to come around. I know Tony Jones very well,
Right.
and I'm friends with him. But and he was the correspondent for the Herald, for the ABC in Israel, actually in Jerusalem.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
and so no, I go back with him, but he's also very a lefty, and he doesn't really, as all the lefties, he has really not much of an idea about history, geography, or anything to do with Yiddishkeit. Nothing to do with Yiddishkeit. They don't know anything about why the Jews are there, what the situation really in reality is between the Jews and the Arabs, etc., etc. So it was a difficult thing, but luckily Michael Danby gave me a few pointers, and I talked about that the Mavi Marmara, the flotilla.
Mm-hmm.
That was the issue that came up, and I said they should have taken it to Syria, and I saw we talked about Syrian refugees and why the media doesn't focus on Syrian refugees, but only on what Israel does wrong. So
I remember you doing such a grand job. I was told that they wouldn't have you back. Is that?
they won't have me back. Yeah. Well, maybe that's the reason. I know that they always have their excuses. The ABC, as you probably know, but their party line is that Israel is, the aggressor and the poor Palestinians. And again, most people there have no idea. Like as we've just discussed, most journalists are ignoramuses in terms of all these issues.
I learnt recently another thing that you did, and this is just the final scene setting, is you went to Poland and challenged some Polish people about what happened during World War II.
I made a documentary for SBS, and it was a part of a series called Aussie Jokers, which is actually available on the internet, so people can have a look at it.
Right.
But it was about comedians who were Australian comedians, but who originated somewhere else. So there might have been another comedian who came from Japan, or a comedian who came from China, or a comedian who came, etc. So I came. I mean, my origins are Lodz, Poland. So,
Yeah. Okay.
So I got this together, and the director was a guy called Paul Fenech, who's very well known to SBS and who made those shows, Howzos and Swing Shift Courier and Pizza and whatever. I took him there, but I took him because we won Tropfest together. I wrote a film for Tropfest,
Wow.
which also had a Jewish theme. It was about me in a cab with a German cab driver, and I pretended that I was German, and then I turned into a Mossad agent and had a go at him anyway. But it's a very funny, and the judges were Baz Luhrmann and Jane Campion and George Miller, and I won the Tropfest anyway. But because of that, I took him to Poland because he's a good director. We fought eventually because his wife was German, and he didn't like me attacking the Germans all day. But that's all I wanted to do, was cut every German down, and I still want to do that. And I will go to Germany and poison the water supply in every city as soon as possible.
It's interesting that
If AJA will give me the cash to do the journey.
very recently Berlin was named the new anti-Semitic capital of Europe, having taken over from Malmo in Sweden on the statistics.
Well, lots
It's
of Arabs there now, probably
yeah,
too. I mean,
yeah, just extraordinary. Have you struck any problems in the entertainment industry because of your heritage, because of your
well,
Jewish-
as you can see, I'm a big boy, and I'm about 6'3" or 4", and a lot of people are frightened of me, which is good, and the sunglasses help that. they tend to intimidate people. So
You look like you're packing a weapon.
well, that's right. So I mean, that's part of the whole thing. I mean, I'm a Jewish boy from Vaucluse who grew up in as a Shomer Shabbat, and I know a lot about being a Jew, and I'm very proud to be Jewish and proud of Israel, etc. And so I don't take any rubbish from them, but they, occasionally they shout out, "Yeah, but what about Israel? What about Palestinians?" But luckily, I know quite a lot about things, and so I can debate idiots and also smart people. So look out, Dave.
Well, I hope we're on the same team.
We are on the same team.
And
Luckily, we're on the same team.
I've noticed actually that some of your commentary aligns very closely with the values of AJA, which is one of the reasons I wanted to come and say hello to you today, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. I know your time is very limited, so I want to just finish by asking you about your shows that are coming up. You've titled it Never Again. Now, obviously, that's got a couple of meanings.
Well, it's got the Holocaust, meaning, and but it's a very strong. I mean, it's a very strong. Never Again is very strong because it does have that connection. But also, it's the intention is, Austen Tayshus is about to wrap up his career, after doing 4 decades, marching around Australia and the world, and so it's like a farewell thing. But in fact, it's just a John Farnham farewell. It's not a real farewell. It's just going to continue.
We don't want you to disappear off the scene yet.
But no. But well, I've got a lot to do still. But however, I love touring and I love performing. And these shows, the next show's on the 13th, on Sunday the 13th,
right,
at the Bondi Pavilion, and the last one's on the 24th, which is a midweek show, I think a Thursday. So it's worth coming along because we had a huge crowd the other night on Saturday night, and it was mostly Jewish, and there were a few goyim in there, and they copped it sweet, as we say.
I want to show people this is. We put our values into action. Here are my tickets for me and my wife. We're going to the show, the midweek show.
Well, that was the deal we struck, so that they could get this interview out of me without paying me, something.
But we will put at the end of the video the booking website.
Well, it is. It's bonditheatrecompany.com.au, and book now because I think they will sell out. I just got a 5-star review, which is it's what I deserve, and I want to wish everybody there a good yontif and a gemar tov, gemar chasim toive, and everybody should have a good fast and should be a good yua, and the Mashiach should come very quickly.
Amen, and this will actually go up after the Yontiv. But
well, that's all right. All right. Well, then, retrospectively, have a good fast.
Okay. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
The shows are a great success. I hope your message is a great success, and you keep doing it and keep doing it.
I do it all for the Yidden, and I want nothing in return except some cash.